We are pulling out a throwback craft supply for a darling project you can do with your daughter or your granddaughter. It's part weaving, it's part needle arts. Make a woven rainbow wall hanging from plastic, canvas, and yarn. Sarah Freeman is here with an all-original idea. And you know, this is a craft supply I remember from my youth.
Do you?
Good. But I have not seen it in years.
No, so we're bringing it back.
Okay.
It's a comeback. We're making a comeback.
Nice.
So maybe you remember from like the 80s and 90s those Kleenex box covers.
Yes.
Do you remember those?
Everyone had them.
I know, and they were a big deal. And like even like decor for baby nurseries. I feel like there was like a lot of that made out of plastic canvas. So it's actually a wonderful craft tool, and we're going to modernize it a little bit and kind of bring it into the 2000s a little bit, if we will.
So how did you do that? What are some ideas you have?
So because it's a plastic, it's actually really rigid, which lends itself well to like a wall hanging because it holds its shape really well.
Okay, it'll lay flat.
So it will lay flat and it's firm. So it'll look good on a wall. Also, because it has kind of a large grid, like if you're looking at crochet or cross stitch has like a really tiny fabric grid. Because this is so large, you can use yarn and make it a larger piece, and it will be more of a statement piece. And you actually spend less time making this because it's got such a big grid to work with.
And I think maybe a little easier for younger hands.
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
It's great for kids. My daughters have been begging to make stuff with us all the time. So
okay, so let's take a look at some of the things you've done.
So we've got, these rainbow wall hangings are my new favorite craft addiction.
It goes along with the boho chic kind of stuff going on.
Well, and that's what's kind of nice about these is they kind of take on a woven look without the loom. Looms are like really not that easy to use.
They don't look easy.
I've tried it and I'm not good. I mean, they probably need to practice more. Some people make them amazing, but you get a little bit of a woven look with the hanging fringe and just the woven look with the rainbow itself, but it's way easier because you don't have to mess with the loom and the strings and going underneath. So you get sort of a similar look.
And you're a pom-pom girl, so I love how you incorporated the pom-poms.
I have put some pom-poms. So this one, I actually just tied pom-poms onto a piece of the plastic canvas.
Okay.
So you just tie them on, and then they just kind of hang there. I added the little fringe at the bottom just to dress it up.
So fun.
And you can do mini sizes as well.
Catcher.
Another thing too is actually this this yarn chandelier.
Wow.
So instead of taking the plastic canvas and hanging it vertically, you're kind of like, you're making it horizontal.
Yeah.
So you're hanging it flat, and then you just drape yarn down from it in a tiered way to kind of make a chandelier.
Yeah, fun for kids to do. So talk to us about what we have to use. So we looked at this.
So you need plastic canvas. So actually for the rainbows, you want to get a circle.
Okay.
So they come
just
in
buy
different
these at the craft
sizes.
store?
Yeah, they actually come in lots of different sizes. Like the little tiny ones are a size as well.
Pre-cut already.
Yep, so they're all in a circle. You'll notice that your circle will have, I still have the sticker on this one because it's brand new, but it has a diameter line. And I know that's really tricky to see, but when you buy this, you can easily tell that there is an actual line that goes down the center. And all you need to do is just cut it in half. And so you can even make 2 rainbows with one circle. So you can keep going to your heart's content. And so then you get your half circle. Now, if you want to have a little arch, like so none of these up here do, but I have a little arch taken out of this rainbow in the front. We just cut out a little bit out of the center. So it's really just a matter of taking your scissors if you want this or not. You just start cutting out your however many you want. You can take out however many squares. And it doesn't even have to be very straight.
When they have lines for you.
It does. It's a grid already.
You're going to cover it anyway.
Right.
Okay.
And the fringe will hang down, so it will cover up any little loose edges on the bottom and all of that too. So.
And then you pick your yarn colors.
You need some yarn. So I like to usually pick my yarn first, and then once I figure out how many colors I have, like if I want 6 different stripes of color, I then go and I count my squares because I like them to be sort of even in number. I don't want to have like some 5 of one color and then only 2 rows of another. I just like it to be sort of even.
So you count across the bottom.
So you count across
and
then divide by however many you have.
And you got to buy one of these.
Oh yes, now this is a key too. This is a yarn darning needle. And it's actually a size 18.
Okay, good to know.
So you know. But it also has a pretty big eye, so you can get the yarn through pretty easily. I like the metal because it doesn't bend or break.
Right, because there's plastic options.
There is,
Okay.
yes, there are plastic options, but I really like the metal. And it also, the plastic does give a little bit on the canvas, and so the metal will help you kind of wiggle in into tight spaces a little bit easier
So
than
how do you
plastic.
start? Show us.
So we want to go, I like all of my fringe to be hanging from the front. So I'm going to be working into my canvas. So does that make sense? So we go into the front here like this, so that my fringe will hang down from the front side.
And you pull it till as long as you want the fringe.
Yes. Another thing also to point out really quick is to measure your string. This is kind of it's a very scientific method. I measure my string by actually laying down the fringe on the table, going around like that layer of the rainbow, pulling down the fringe however much I want, and then doubling that amount of yarn.
Okay, easy.
So that's sort of my very unproven method of measuring. So anyway, once we have it inside, we're going to do a back stitch. And a back stitch is basically just where you're going into the yarn from the back side and then going back into the front into the same stitch that you originally were starting. So we can skip a few of the squares. I like to skip 2 or 3, but not much more than that because it creates sort of a straight line, and we don't really want that. So we skipped 2 and went straight in, and then we're going to go back into our first square.
So easy to teach kids, and we just repeat this method, and then comes the fun part.
Yes.
After you get it all filled, you get to pick embellishments.
Oh, yes.
I see these cute pom-pom things here.
Yes,
You have
pom-pom
these.
trim, pom-poms, and you can just hot glue those directly onto your canvas. They stick really well, and it just adds a little bit more fun.
Okay, so fun, and
Pretty.
you showed us a bunch of different ways to hang it. Anything fun that you're working on for fall?
I'm gonna have lots more DIYs, more fun stuff coming up for the holidays.
Yeah, and we definitely might need a more tutorial on this.
Yes,
so what's
there will
your
be
website?
a tutorial for this on my website as well, and for the chandelier. My website is apricotpolkadot.com, and you can also find me on Instagram at apricotpolkadot. So.
All right, thanks for taking us back to the 80s.
Thank you. Yeah, we're bringing it back.